carry me home, sweet Lord, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home, sweet Lord, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home, sweet Lord, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. I'm sometimes up, I'm sometimes down.
Hi, I'm Alice Christine Walker. Thank you so much for being with us here tonight. So I want to start out with a quote. Isn't the beginning always so exciting? And isn't the end always sad? When we're born, everybody smiles a lot. And when we die, everybody cries. Back in 2017, I had a period of simultaneous personal catastrophes. I experienced trauma compiled on trauma. The most heartbreaking of this time was the diagnosis of my father with terminal brain cancer. It was during this period I realized how unprepared our society is for death. In this process, I realized we have a responsibility to ourselves and others to familiarize ourselves with the inevitability of death. When we do this, we can help others do the same and destigmatize loss. We should be able to talk about death in similar ways as a birth and new life. With most things, change starts with the individual and spreads to the community and then to the culture. We've lost our rituals to stay connected to the departed and our rights to mourn in our communities. All the images in this exhibition are self-portraits. They are steeped in memory, meaning, and symbolism taken during these difficult years. During this time of loss, I came to envision the experience of grief as a color and our lives as a canvas. After the death of my father, it was like being able to see a color I'd never seen before. I started to see the unmistakable color of loss and bereavement in others. To me, that color is golden. My experience of grief is not darkness. It is cinematic, surreal, and vivid, like sunflowers and marigolds and buttercups. The color of flowers in full bloom before their beauty expires and they return to the earth. I use that color in my work. The outfit that I'm wearing was once pure white, transformed and hand-dyed in those exact flowers to produce its golden color. At the end of this project, I chose to transform it once more, stitching my father's death date on it. In this process, I developed a reverence for grief, but also a realization that grief is beautiful and transformative. It should be honored and used as a tool in itself to mend. This exhibition is an opportunity to understand and heal our grief. Although this body of work was produced as a result of bereavement, these same principles apply to all loss. Life is full of so many small and big losses mixed in with the wins. I ask us all to remember that there is gain in loss and loss in gain, and that grief never ends, but it changes. It's a passage, not a place to stay. Grief is not a sign of weakness nor a lack of faith. It is the price of love. As part of this exhibition, I have gathered many resources in both Spanish and English. I invite you to look through them and take what you need. In our resource section, there is an artist grief deck that is a project that allows artists to submit their work and their prompts to them. They compile these images and words in a great flashcard format. You can go to their website, Artist Grief Deck, and purchase one of these. They make a really great gift for somebody experiencing loss. In the resource area, I also have bereavement cards donated by Let's Talk About Loss. They are a fantastic organization based in the UK, helping youth under 35 that experience the loss of a loved one. Finding the right words to support somebody in grief is hard. Please feel free to take one of these cards and have it handy for whenever you don't know what to say. In this resource section, there's also some books that really helped me, as well as some pamphlets from the Doogie Center, a local, I believe, not-for-profit that is known nationwide for their support of grieving teens and youth. Here are the artist grief decks. Like I said, they're really wonderful to flip through. Hundreds of artists have shown their work, and there's the prompts on the other side. There's one in Spanish and one in English on the wall for you to look at. When you visit, I also invite you to take part in building this rest nest altar. There's a table in the gallery that has pens and papers for you to write on. If you feel uncomfortable writing any words, please feel free just to grab a sunflower that will be provided throughout the month and add that to the altar. I want everybody to know that there's no right or wrong way to participate. I'm also hosting a series of events throughout this month as well. On Saturday 12th, I have my artist talk at the gallery. It will be recorded and shared for all who can attend. I will have an ASL interpreter on site to provide interpretation for the deaf and hard of hearing. I'll go into a lot more detail during that artist talk on each piece and all the symbolism and meaning behind it. On Saturday, March 20th, my very dear friend Mary Wagstaff will be leading a spring equinox event at the gallery and via Zoom. This event marks the transformation from a time of rest, winter, back into the rebirth, abundance, and death cycle. The last weekend of this exhibition, March 25th and 27th, my friend Charmaine will be in town. She's a death doula, a person who assists in the dying process, much like a midwife does with the birthing process. Her aim is to help families cope with death through recognizing it as a natural and important part of life. She will be leading a community grief ritual on March 26th at 5 p.m. here at the gallery. It'll be a 2.5-hour event. We will be collectively building an altar that will serve as a physical representation of the small and large losses that touch each of our lives. We will engage with the sacred and healing power of music, sound, movement, and community ritual. On Sunday, March 25th, she will be hosting a grief circle at the gallery. Modeled after the concept of a death cafe, community members, often strangers, get together, drink tea, discuss death, and practice grief. The objective is to increase awareness of death with a view in helping people make the most of their finite lives. Each group is unique, and the conversation is enriched by what each person in attendance shares. In these circles, we laugh, we cry, and we learn from each other as we explore our personal and shared experiences around death and grief. Lastly, on March 25th and March 27th, I'll be hosting an immersive theater experience. This is a very unique theater experience that guides participants through an engaging series of cues, encouraging the healing from loss and bereavement. The experience is designed to be one-on-one, and I promise you, in a good way, it'll be unlike anything that you've experienced or done before. There are really limited tickets for this, so sign up soon and grab a spot. You can register for all the events here at the gallery or on my website, alicechristinewalker.com. Finally, I want to acknowledge that I do not create or exist in a vacuum. I'm here with the support of my community. Thank you to RAC, the Regional Arts and Culture Council, whose financial support guaranteed that all the events for this exhibition are free. Charles Purvis and the Project Salon, who gave me feedback on my work while I was creating it. My partner Daniel and a handful of other dear friends for bearing witness as I process my emotions over the years. And to Blackfish Gallery for being a fantastic community it is, and allowing artists to not only make the work that they want to make, not just the work that they hope to sell. And to everybody who's experiencing loss, be brave. Death and loss are taboos in our society. There will be an external and internal pressure to move on as quickly as possible. Don't rob yourself of the process to conform or to convenience others. Don't be afraid to seek camaraderie with strangers when your loved ones don't understand. I want to end this with a Rapi Kayer quote. What a relief it is to discover that the aches I thought were mine alone are also felt by many others. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope to see you in person.
All right, thank you.
Coming forth to carry me home, swing along, sweet chariot. Coming forth to carry me home, swing along, sweet chariot. Coming forth to carry me home, swing along, sweet chariot. Coming forth to carry